I never believed in aliens. Not in conspiracies, not in UFOs. None of it. But everything changed on May 17th of this year. It was just after a thunderstorm, the kind that leaves the sky vibrating with electricity. I was driving down an empty road outside the city when I saw someone standing, alone, in the middle of the street. No shoes, just jeans, a hoodie. But his eyes glowed. Not a reflection, not a trick of light. They were glowing from the inside. I slowed down, rolled down the window. He didn't speak. He just looked at me, nodded once, and got in the car. He said his name was Aaron. His voice was calm, neutral, but every word felt like it landed directly in my brain. He didn't smell like anything. He didn't blink. He didn't ask questions. Instead, he said, "You wouldn't understand where I come from, but it's 500 light years away. Your people call it the Orion Cluster." I laughed, awkwardly, thought he was just strange or high or both, until he touched the dashboard and my watch froze. Time just stopped. Seconds stood still. Raindrops hung in the air. And then, snap, it all came back. Like a skipped frame in a movie. He looked at me and said, "We've been watching you for centuries, not to attack, but to understand, if you are still worth saving." He explained how his people had long ago evolved past war, greed, and chaos. They had no governments, no weapons, no borders, only connection, telepathy, empathy, a collective mind, not like a hive, but like a harmony. And he said something that still echoes in my bones. In 30 years, your species will face a choice: evolve or vanish. He didn't speak much after that. Instead, he showed me images, not on a screen but inside my mind. Floating cities, oceans made of light, creatures made of sound, Earth, seen from space, slowly flickering like a dying star. I asked for proof. He smiled just barely and handed me a small metallic sphere, smooth, cold, impossibly heavy for its size. "This cannot be recorded. It rejects your tools, but it will always be with you." Then, just before sunrise, he stood on the side of the road and raised a hand. And then, he disintegrated. Millions of silver particles floated upward, swirling into the sky like fireflies, until they vanished beyond the clouds. No sound, no heat, just stillness. I still have the sphere. It floats. It hums sometimes, especially at night. It doesn't cast a shadow. And every once in a while, when I close my eyes, I hear him. And he says, "You still have time." I didn't tell anyone at first. Who would believe it? A glowing man from Orion 5 who stopped time and vanished into the sky? No one would. I barely believed it myself. But then, strange things started happening. My phone battery lasted for weeks. I stopped getting sick. My dreams, if they were dreams, became vivid landscapes of places I've never seen. And people started noticing. A woman on the subway stared at me and whispered, "You've seen one, haven't you?" Then got off at the next stop. Another time a child pointed at me and said to his mom, "That man glows like the quiet one from the stars." His mom turned pale. That's when I realized I wasn't the only one. There are others, quiet ones, scattered across the world, each of us touched by something, someone, not of this earth, not to harm, but to prepare. I think Aaron was a messenger, and the sphere he left me, it's changing. Last night, it opened for the first time. Inside there was light, pure, silent, infinite, and a single word burned itself into my mind: awaken. So now I wait. I don't know what's coming, but I know this: he didn't come to warn me. He came to choose me, and maybe you're next. For weeks I tried to move on. I put the sphere in a drawer, locked it, forgot it, or tried to. Then one night, the sphere floated out of the drawer. On its own, it hovered above my bed, spinning slowly, and I heard his voice again, but not in words, in emotions, urgency, sadness, and something deeper, like a call. Suddenly I wasn't in my room anymore. I was somewhere else, a vast white chamber. No doors, no light source, just endless brightness. Around me stood others, dozens, maybe hundreds. Men, women, children, all of us, human. All of us holding spheres. And in the center, Aaron, not glowing now, but burning, like a star wearing skin. He looked at each of us and said, "You are the last hope. Not because you're perfect, but because you still care, because you still wonder." He raised his hand, and we saw Earth, projected in the air like a fragile blue flame, and then splintered across it, dots of red, spreading, consuming. "You don't need weapons," he said. You need memory, connection, unity. These are your tools." Then, everything collapsed into light, and I woke up in my room. The sphere was gone, but something had changed. I looked in the mirror, and my eyes were glowing.